Hey, look. It's my last day in the studio. I'm about to go live with my last Q&A. So I just wanted to see if there was any way you would change your mind about what we talked about the other day. You know, about you leaving the dice tower with me, we start our own thing. I mean, board game bathroom break could explode. And lunch unboxings are going to be a thing. I just know it. So come on. What do you say? Nothing? Really? I mean, come on, all it would... Look. Don't be mad, dude. Come on. Hey everybody, it's my last day here at the Dice Tower editor, soon to be former editor, Derek Porter here. So this is my very last live Q&A, and I thank you all for joining me for this. This is a weird array of emotions to be feeling right now. So go ahead and start typing up them questions, and I'll just ramble for a bit. Yeah, this is my last day. I fly out first thing tomorrow morning, and finally get there. I haven't seen my family in about a month. I saw my wife on the cruise, but she flew back after the cruise, and so my family's been in Colorado for the last month while I've been finishing up here with logistics of selling the house and things like that. So, yeah, things are coming to an end. And all right, so let's see, what do we got so far? Derek, I understand that you played Queensdale with Tom, Sam, and Z. Did you manage to finish it? Regrettably, no. And there's no reason for that other than just time. It's not like we checked out of it and said, oh, we're done with this. I mean, so I imagine they'll probably finish it at some point. Just obviously I won't be involved. I was enjoying the game. It was a good time. So maybe I'll pick it up with my Colorado game group or something. We'll see. All right. Derek, thanks for all your great work. You know what? A family should have, it's either, I'm assuming that's Hunter, or maybe it's both Hunter and Rebecca. I don't know, but thank you. Thank you. Are there any weird quirks anyone at the Dice Tower has, like Tom eats bananas with a spoon? Not really. I can't think of anything offhand that would be worth mentioning that you all don't already know. So no, not necessarily. Derek, what's the plan now? Are you still going to be an editor? Short answer to that question is yes. I have some contract freelance work that I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to be doing something in media production. I don't have I'm not really there's a lot of I have a lot of things up in the air, and so I can't say like this is definitively what's going to happen. Here's where you can find me. So I can't really answer that, but I do have some contract work that I'll be doing over the next several months, and yeah. So and of course I've got a little bit of bug of doing this whole live streaming thing, so I might do something on my own. If you care to follow me, you can find me on the relevant social medias. I won't plug it here because it's not Dice Tower related, but you can find me if you want to follow my future endeavors. Derek, did you sign a non-compete agreement? I didn't sign anything, but it's sort of like, it was just kind of like a professional courtesy, I guess. So, I'm not going to be able to actually watch us until later, but I wanted to pop into the chat and say thank you, Derek. You did great work, and I'm really going to miss your Q&As. They were the best. Oh, Anna Eubanks, the feels, and I'm not crying, you're crying. Will you be a contributor for the Dice Tower for Board Game Breakfast? No, I still have an open invitation to keep doing Favorite Game Friday, right, Roy? Ah, yeah, okay, cool, got the thumbs up for that. So I might still pop up on there, but I have officially never I mean, not that I've ever submitted anything either, but I've never been officially approved as a board game breakfast contributor. But I have no immediate plans because I don't really have any ideas or anything. So, all right. Are you going to write a tell-all book about the Dice Tower? I don't know. Maybe someday. But there's, I mean, these Q&As are kind of my tell-alls. So, you know, the information's already out there, you know. How many consecutive sneezes does Tom record? They're never consecutive. It's just like when I get the mess of footage, there's just every once in a while, there's all of a sudden a double take of the same game, and I'm like, it's a blooper. So I look at the blooper and see if it's worth keeping, and yeah, most of them are sneezes. That's usually what disrupts Tom. Why is it his last day? Because, well, my initial, like when I first made the announcement is I told Tom I was going to fulfill my agreement. Basically, how it worked is I committed to the Dice Tower 1 year at a time, and sort of like the Dice Tower year runs from February through January. So I told Tom that I would finish out my year. And fortunately, Roy got here sooner than we thought he would get down here, and so transition was smoother, and so there's a few days that I can spend to transition, which is nice. It's going to make things a little bit easier just for me getting back to Colorado and unpacking my stuff and getting a workstation set up and all that good stuff. Favorite memory from time with the Dice Tower, funniest memories. Okay, so I actually tried to compile, like I was going to do a top 10 favorite moments of working with the Dice Tower. And I ran out of time / only could come up with like 7 things. And I think I have the list somewhere. I can ramble down that list if you guys are interested. Let me see where that list ended up, of course. And the funny thing is, it does not appear to be on this computer. So never mind, because this is not my laptop. Oh! Hey, if Roy would be so kind as to hand me my laptop, then yes. I go and pull up the notes. I'm like, oh yeah, this isn't my computer. Let's see. Anyway, while that's doing its thing. All right. Let's see. Do you have a golden moment you'd like to share from your time with the Dice Tower team that we might not already know? I think one of the funnest memories, in all honesty, was when we were all sharing this Airbnb space when we went to PAX U this year. So we all kind of lived in this house in the Philly suburbs while we were there for PAX U, and that was basically at night. It was one of the rare times we went to a convention, and it's because we're all staying, like we usually all stay in the same hotel, but we never really all hang out together. Like usually people just kind of group up and go do their own things, or you know. But because we were all staying in the same place, naturally in the evenings we'd all get to hang out together. So we were playing, I brought my Switch, and so we were playing, me, Z, and Eric, and Mark Streed were all playing Snipper Clips. That was really fun, and we played, Z and I were playing some of those Capcom beat-em-up games because I had just bought that game. That was probably that, and playing Rock Band at Jason's house before we flew out to PAX the night before we flew. That was probably like my funnest time because video games are kind of my main jam. I mean, I love board games, but I was a video gamer first, and so playing video games with friends is like one of my favorite things to do ever. So that's definitely on that list of memories. Let's see if that's. Nope, that's not the right password. And I'm fat fingering because I'm trying to do so many things at once. Okay. Let's see. Is the crew going to take you out to lunch or dinner for your last day? Yes, actually. Tom let me pick the restaurant. And we're actually going to the first place I went to after I started working here. My very first day with the Dice Tower was the day we had Richard Ham-Rado as a guest for a gaming marathon. And so we're going to that same restaurant, this Mexican restaurant, and I can never remember. I always mispronounce the name, and so I'm not going to try because I don't want to embarrass myself with my lack of Spanish speaking skills. But that is the problem. But yes, that is actually I think what we're doing as soon as I are within an hour, I guess, of when I wrap this, because I think I'm only going to do this till 11. Um, but yeah. So, what is your favorite game that 3 to 5 people could pick up and play quickly? To play quickly, well, it doesn't play 5, but sort of my go-to, like, hey, you should try this, is Quadropolis. I really like Quadropolis. The other game, if they're okay with a little bit of the chaos and some of the that's in there, I love Mission Red Planet. That's like the game I know inside and out. Like because I have a hard time always, like, I'm always intimidated to teach games, because sometimes I'm like, it's been a while. It's always been a while since I've played whatever game I'm teaching. So I'm like, how does this work? Is that how it goes? And I was like, yeah, I'll teach you this game. Let me just have the rule book and let me study it for a few minutes while you guys, you know. But I'll say, so yeah, it's either Quadropolis or Mission Red Planet. Those are sort of my go-to, like, hey, let's play this. Because like Mission Red Planet, I know how to make that game move fast. I kind of have a house rule in that game. I haven't seen it break the game anyway, but basically in Mission Red Planet, you're supposed to count down the cards from 9. I just have everybody reveal and you just resolve, you know, in order. I don't think it makes a difference other than just adding anticipation to having people count down. Oh, people with 9, any 9s? No. Any 8s? No. I just rather everybody just flip your cards and we just go down and use the first player marker to break ties. So I can usually get a game of Mission Red Planet probably done within like 45 minutes with competent players. So, what's your favorite thing you've edited for the Dice Tower? Tom's review with the Rage-O-Meter, perhaps. The Rage-O-Meter was fun, but in all honesty, I am not proud. I mean, that isn't. It's like I'm still working on my graphics skills. Like, I don't do well with like animations and things, and I'm trying to get better at that. And that was like one of my first attempts, and every time I look back and see it, I'm like, oh, it looks so hack and so bad. But it was fun to make. I think the thing that I'm actually most proud of, just because it was a project that I kind of had a lot of creative control over, was the Dice Tower History series. It was really fun, because like one of the last classes I took when I finished my degree was basically for reasons I don't need to get into unless you really want to hear about it. I had my internship credits, or my internship requirement waived for my degree, and to do that, basically I had to take some extra video classes, so they had me take a documentary film class, and I really enjoyed it, and so I got to sort of flex those skills and use all those things I learned in documentary filmmaking. So I would say probably the Dice Tower History series is the thing that I'm probably most proud of, because I really got to put a lot of, like, I had, because we turn around things so fast that it's like very rarely do I get to go, oh, I want to make that better. But with Dice Tower History, because it was running during a time when Tom was traveling and I was staying behind, so I was like, I had all this time to really make it good. So yeah, so I think Dice Tower History is probably what I'm most proud of. Next to the live stream stuff, because the live stream, like convention coverage and like what we do now, what the Dice Tower does now, that is hands down my favorite thing to do. I love live production. It's sort of where I cut my teeth as far as production goes. So that's me. All right, how many questions have I accidentally skipped here? Well, did I get my list done? Is it here? Okay, so here are some of the moments. I have my list now for some of my favorite moments. Of course, one of the ones I already mentioned was the playing video games at the PAX Unplugged trip, Rock Band at Jason's house, and then playing Switch at the Airbnb we stayed in while we were in Philadelphia. And in no particular order, because I didn't actually get around to numbering these. But I really enjoyed, actually, it's kind of funny, because this moment is actually from like probably my worst day that I've had at the Dice Tower. It's from CMON Expo 2018. So I get to kind of brag on some really cool people, and I'm totally going to call them out. So you just indulge me for a moment. I was having the worst day that I think I've ever had, since working for the Dice Tower. I was still coming off, we were still in this season of uncertainty. My wife had some health problems in late 2017 into early 2018. And so it was like I was on this trip and I wasn't sure if I should be on this trip, but I kind of needed to go on this trip it was just like I was in a weird place, because I was like, I need to go on this trip because I need to change the pace to get out of the office, but I also need, like, I was like really concerned about like, is my wife going to be okay? I was worried about a lot, and then also when I went on this trip, I failed to bring like a bunch of equipment I needed. So I show up to there's a media room at the CMON Expo where they have all the content creators show up and they do their interviews and stuff like that. And I was a complete bonehead and didn't bring anything. We had like a little phone, a little Go Mic mobile for a phone that hooks into like our iPhones, and you can just record a microphone straight into the phone. But I didn't bring a tripod. So I'm setting up to shoot interviews with like Eric Lang and some of these other designers that are there, and you know, everybody else is super professional and has their own stuff, and they roll in with their camera bags and their tripods and they set it all up and got their microphones and they shoot the review and they roll out, and here I am like pulling a shelf over from the wall to prop my iPad up on to hook the Go Mic into, and it was embarrassing. I was sitting there like, I feel like a complete moron doing this. And then I had a bunch of other, like, I had some really random person be like extremely rude to me and say really nasty things to me and like threaten me and all this weird stuff. So I had this really awful day, and I come down to the gaming hall just to unwind for a bit. And so I go up and I talk to my good friend Pete Shirey, who's running the booth at the moment. And I had wanted to pick up, I was like, I'm trying not to chase promos all the time, but it's like, I love Zombicide Black Plague, and I've always wanted the Scowl and Grin figure sets. They were Kickstarter exclusive, and when I played it for the first time, I played Vernon Piper's copy, and he had those characters from the Kickstarter, and the Scowl character is my favorite character to play in all of Zombicide, and so I was like, I want to get that mini, and so they had it in the case, and Pete wouldn't let me buy it. For reasons I was like, well, no, I'm not asking for like an industry favor or anything. I was like, I just want to buy it. He was like, oh, well, I can't sell it to you. And he was feeling really bad because the reason he couldn't sell it to me is because word had gotten around that I was having just this god-awful day. Vernon said, hey, if you give me one of those Scowl and Grim sets, I'll paint it for Derek and we'll give it to him. So I walk away kind of feeling like, man, it's kind of weird. I can't even get the mini that I want. And then, yeah, sure enough, you know, an hour or two later, you know, they catch up with me and it's like, hey, we want to do something for you. We're having a hard day. We want to make it a little better for you. And so they gave me, I posted the picture on Twitter or Facebook or something. Basically, Vernon had painted Scowl and Grim for me. And those are the only two miniatures I have painted in my Zombicide Black Plague set, but I'm glad that I have them. So, there's that. There's a fond, feel-good memory for you. Okay, another thing is I got to go, in my time with the Dice Tower, I went to one BGG Con, and I got to experience the wonder and the amazement of the Spinning Tops tournament. And it was my first year, and I hadn't really done the whole convention scene either, so I was like, what am I getting into? Because everybody's dressing up in costumes and coming up with backstories, and then we parade ourselves down to the lobby where they're having this tournament, and it was amazing. I haven't done anything else like that. It was a blast. It was so fun. Another moment. Let's see. I already talked about Dice Tower Con 2018. I have a little variant that I play with the One Night Werewolf series, where I basically, because I have all the expansions like One Night Vampire, One Night, and then Daybreak and One Night Alien. So I created this little variant where basically, rather than try to like randomize using roles that don't work together, I kind of grouped all the roles into different like classes. And I play a variant where when you play several rounds of One Night Werewolf, One Night Ultimate Werewolf, whatever role gets lynched is removed from the game, and then you replace it with another one of the same class. And so that is, I did that till like, I think 3 or 4 in the morning at Dice Tower Con, this last Dice Tower Con with some great friends of mine. It was a blast. It's like hands down the best like convention gaming experience I've ever had. It was so fun. Another mention for Dice Tower Con 2018 is Jaros Productions was the AV company that rented us the stage and equipment we used to do the large event hall panels and things like that. And it was one of those things where I wished for the moon and I got it. It's like I got to call cameras with a telecom headset and everything. It was amazing. It was one of those moments where in my career I was like, okay, I've arrived. You know, it's like I'm doing a big boy show. So yeah, working with Jaros Productions was a great experience. And of course, meeting Mike Parkinson, and kind of he and I kind of became like this powerhouse dream team of doing all the convention AV stuff that we used to do with live cameras and things. And he's sort of my right-hand man when it comes to setting that stuff up. And so getting to work with Mike Parkinson was awesome. And then, of course, the first time I got to go on the Dice Tower cruise, because I've never been on a cruise before, and that was amazing. So there you go. Those are like some of the highlighted moments that I managed to scribble down when I was trying to prep for this. So, all right, let's see if we can dip back into some questions here. Did Tom give you a lifetime pass to all future Dice Tower cons? No, but I don't know if I can actually go to those anyway, because I mean, flying from Colorado to Florida is pretty expensive. Let's see. What is your favorite? Oh, I already answered that one. Okay. Coming down here. See, here's some new questions. Let's see. Tom is Paul, Z is John, Sam is George, Jason is Ringo, and Derek is George Martin. Okay, I guess. Top 5 Switch games, go. Okay, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is number 1. And then Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, Golf Story, and I always get the name wrong because it's like some play on words, but it's Bloodstained Curse of the Moon is number 5. Those are the games I've been playing like crazy on Switch. Okay. What's your new job going to be? Basically, like I said, I have a lot of kind of like balls up in the air, and I just realized how crooked the camera is, but that's okay. Or maybe it's just me looking at the monitor. But so I don't have like a specific I'm going to. I'm going to be doing a lot. I'm still going to be, I'll still be doing what I do, you know, cutting videos, running sound, doing stuff like that. I've got a few weddings that want to book me for doing stuff, and yeah. So, how many board gaming stores? Let's see. Any good board gaming stores where you're moving to? Well, there's 2. And I'm moving to Colorado Springs is where I'm going, and there's 2 there that I'm really that I frequent. One of them is called Gamers Haven. That's kind of like where I fell in love with board games. And then the other one is called Petrie's Family Games and Puzzles, or some kind of. I'm probably butchering it. I know it's Petrie's is how you pronounce it, but the actual like tagline of the store I can't remember. But I kind of bounce in between the 2 of those. I mean, I know there are other gaming stores in Colorado Springs, but like when I was visiting there this last December when I moved my family, I saw that some of them were gone. So, but I know that those 2 are still around. All right. How long does it take you to sculpt your amazing beard? I don't know how to answer that, because basically, as long as I don't make a mistake while I'm shaving, I keep it. As soon as I make, if the beard ever goes away, it's because I really messed it up and I had to start over. So I guess it's a lifetime. You know, I don't know. But as long as I don't ever like make it super uneven, then it stays. So. Let's see. All right. I'm looking for questions, and I kind of got lost in the question scrolling, or the chat scrolling here. Please tell us something about Tom that we probably don't know. Thanks and happy trails. Something you don't know about Tom that isn't. Let's see. Oh, well, here's something fun. I don't know if he's mentioned this on any of his Q&As, but every time he wears suspenders through TSA, they pat him down. Every time. So there you go. To the point that it's become an inside joke in the office that he's got all these all these flames in different airports across the country. So how many times did you win? Oh, I think you're asking how many times do I win against Jason? I don't know if I've ever actually won against Jason. I don't play games with Jason like super often because usually he's playing with Tom. But when I have, I don't think he usually crushes me. But I did the last game night. I didn't win, but I definitely placed higher than he did. We played Detective Club, and he got like, you were in that game, Roy. It was like 3 points.
Barely any points.
Yeah, he got barely any points. So like, I came in second, I think. So I didn't win, but I scored more than Jason. So yeah, that's at least like an achievement or something, right? You know. Will Roy be filling in your shoes and doing amazing pre-Q&A skits? I don't know. That's up to Roy. He's already got other things he's doing. But no pressure. You don't have to. Just let it be my thing.
Yeah.
So Colorado to Las Vegas isn't too bad, though. No, that is very true. I know that, yeah, because you can, like, there's like I think a flight from DIA to Vegas that's, I mean, I think it's like $90 or something. It's like really, really cheap, really affordable. All right, is that your favorite hat? It definitely seems to be the classic Derek look. Yes, I have this weird. It comes from where the job that I held before I worked at Dice Tower, where it's a very competitive scene, and so like usually if you want to kind of, you know, when you work with potential clientele, you want to do something to make yourself memorable to them because, you know, most tech people are just wearing black shirts and black cargo pants, and it's like to sort of like help make a lasting impression on like trying to stick in someone's mind so that when they think of, hey, we should hire another guy, hey, let's hire that one guy. That's part of the reason why I have the beard, is because it's very unique to me and also looks pretty good on me, I think. And yeah, and then also this is like the hat and glasses is sort of like that's kind of become like my look, I guess. It's like if I had to make a caricature of myself, it would have these elements. And then this is, it's from a band I used to work with. They affectionately call this beard the steered because it's like a stash that morphs into a beard. So, so yeah, it's all the steered, glasses, and hat. And yeah, this is my favorite kind of hat. I have other hats, but I caught so much flack from people when I first started wearing hats that they thought I was imitating Tom. So I'm like, okay, fine, I'll just wear my favorite. It's like I'm wearing a hat, but I don't want to make it look like I was just trying to mimic Tom, because I only have like 4 hats, but one of them is a fedora. So let's see, why did you decide to move to Colorado? The short answer to that question is that is where I'm originally from. I'm born and raised there. I need to move my family to be closer with extended family. It's sort of the best thing for my kids and my wife. And so, you know, I had to make the big boy decision, like, okay, I'm doing what's best for the family. If I could have my way, I'd stay here, you know, playing toys, you know, I mean, this is like the best job for me because it's a media work about board games. And so it's like, it's the thing I do professionally with the thing that I like to spend time doing. But I can't, I have to get back to Colorado. That's just the way it is. So, favorite video game with a shark in it? I'm trying to think what games have I played with a shark in it. It wasn't really no, that was a whale. Yeah, it's probably one of the Donkey Kong Country games. It's the only game I can think of that comes with has a shark in it. That and like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fighting game where they had that weird shark guy. I had no idea what his backstory is. It was just a guy that was a shark guy that had he had like the same move set as Guile from Street Fighter 2, and his sonic boom was spitting water out of his mouth. So I don't even remember the name of the character. I probably shouldn't even brought that up. Who do you think will win the Super Bowl? I don't care. I just don't. I don't care about the sports ball. So I just don't care. I don't even know who's playing, and I don't care to know. I'm like, I'm going to win the Super Bowl because I'm going to go eat all the chips. So All right. Are you going to do food unboxing segment for board game breakfast? Oh, that is a great idea. Despite the name, board game breakfast is more about board games than it is about food. So, will you go to Dice Tower West? I don't think so. It's not. I'm not planning to. I'm not like no one's bringing me or anything. If it's like I thought, hey, if I land on my feet, okay, it's like maybe I can get out for a con. But it's like it's so soon that I have a long road ahead of me of just like sort of kind of starting over back in Colorado. So it's like I just don't think I can justify taking a trip so soon after uprooting. So I don't know. Not likely. Because like if I am going to go to anything, I'm going to try to go to NAB. If I'm going to go to a convention, that's the one I should go to. Like, if I'm going to go to a convention this spring, that's the one I should be going to if I decide to go. So, all right. Let's see. So, was the guy who's angry at you at the convention the president of Gamma? I heard no, it was not. I probably shouldn't have even read that question. It was literally just some random. I don't want to start a conversation. It was just some random guy on the street that just hated the color of my skin and wanted to let me know. So, let's see. What was the worst part about the job? In all honesty, it's just keeping up with the deadlines. That's hard. It's like, especially when we're trying to get ahead, because we already have a full slate of content, so trying to do more weeks of work in one it fatigues you, and especially in the height of convention season where there's trips every 2 or 3 weeks. That's the worst part about the job, is just trying to keep up with all the deadlines. Which video game IP, in your opinion, has been translated to a board game most successfully? Side question, which video game would you like to see brought to the table? Okay, so I think I've addressed this in Q&As before, but I'm not particularly a fan of trying to do like cool video game, the board game. I've just never seen it work. In fact, I think the only board game I own that has like that has a video game adaptation to it is the Super Mario Level Up. But that, in all honesty, is how I prefer to see video games about the board games. Like I think I'm in the minority, so feel free to call foul. That's fine. But I prefer that they would just sort of ascribe like a video game IP to an already successful board game. Like in all honesty, that's not true. That's not the only video game board game I own. Like I have StarCraft Risk. It's like I like stuff like that. I think somebody should make a Minecraft Catan where the robber is a creeper. I think that's better. I would rather than just try to go like, hey, here's a video game flavored edition of a board game that already works. I can't think of anyone that does it well enough that makes me go, you know what? That really is amazing. Now, I am excited that I did see an announcement from, is it Panda Cult? That they're doing the Shovel Knight miniatures game. Basically, they're kickstarting that sometime later this year. I'm excited about that, but I'll be honest with you, even if the game is horrible, I'm backing it because I just want Shovel Knight miniatures. But yeah, I would rather, like, for example, I've said before, I think I would rather see like a Super Smash Brothers Dice Master set. I'd rather that than like a Super Smash Brothers the board game. So, Armagon from TMNT. Yes, that is the name of the shark. I knew it was something gone, but I was like, I wasn't going to even try. The Super Bowl is, oh, hey, I told you I don't care, so I'm not even going to finish reading it. How many games are you taking in your move? Well, I already, like I said, I shipped a pod back in December to Colorado already. And I downsized a lot of games, so I don't have an accurate count on the number of games I've had. Still a sizable amount, but and I'm probably still going to cull more because I'm just kind of in a state right now where I would rather than have this big giant pile of games that I have more, like there's more games in a pile than I have time left in my life to play. I would rather just have a collection of games that I know I want to play over and over. I know me and a friend of mine go back and forth this all the time because he's like, I just want to keep playing new games all the time. And I'm like, that's great. I prefer to have like a pool of probably 50 to 60 games that I love, and I like to revisit and play over and over and over, you know. And that's just kind of how I want to move forward because I got exposed to a lot of board games, and I can definitely see how it's easy to get like caught in the, you know, in the wave of just all these new games coming out all the time. But I think about like I love Mansions of Madness 2nd Edition. I still have not played all the scenarios on it, and I'm just like, and so as a result, I'm like, well, I don't feel like I need to buy all the expansions and stuff until I've gotten caught up. And it's like, and so when I started looking at my collection before I moved, and I was like, how many of these games am I actually going to get to the table? And I just started going, okay, you know what? As much as I love that game, it's got to go because it's just like my wife won't play that, or, you know, I just don't think I'll ever get to play it again. So, and that game would be better off in someone's hands that would appreciate it. So, Florida humidity. Yes, I am not going to miss the Florida humidity. Though the last few days have been quite like gloomy and gray. Like it's sort of like the whispers, the hint of what is to come when I get back to Colorado. It's been like super rainy and cold in the mornings. Like I was emptying out. This is my last day that I'm spending the night last night was the last night I spent in my house, and so I was this morning putting the trash cans out and just getting stuff out of the house and loading the car, and it was really cold, and I'm like, huh, I might actually have to keep my sweatshirt, you know, like not like I was just going to hold it until I flew to Colorado to put on when I land, but I was like, I might actually take it with me because it's actually kind of cold outside. But then the sun will cut through and then everything's all hot and grimy and gross and sweaty, and then I'm like, yeah, Florida's still Florida. And by the way, I do see all of the kind words in the chat, so I'm not just glazing over those. Thank you. I really do appreciate what everyone's saying. It means a lot because it's, you know, doing what I do. I didn't think it mattered that much. Like I know it's important. Don't get me wrong, but it's like it's nice to be appreciated, and I really do appreciate all the kind words, because that is one thing. When I took this job, I had never done like YouTube stuff. Here's a fun fact for you: is like everything that we're doing now with like YouTube and stuff like that. When I was in college, it was called new media. So now it's just media. But I was really intimidated because I was like, I don't know if I want to deal with like internet trolls and all that comment stuff and just the social media, like the slime throwing that happens when you get involved in an industry like this. But I can say that the Dice Tower audience has been very, very, very toxic free. So, I mean, no question. I've got an ankle biter, and I know who you know. It's like I see everything you say about me. I see it. Yeah. But for the most part, everyone's pretty nice, and I really appreciate that. So, let's see. Thank you for answering. I believe video games can be cursed for board games, just like trying to make them into films. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I feel like whenever that happens, every time I see, like, for example, I don't want to call it, I haven't played it, and I probably never will, but it's like, for example, like when I saw the BioShock board game or the Fallout board game, it's like, I know it's really cool to get access to a license like that and then try to make a game out of it, but at the same time, I'm just going, you're taking something and making into a thing that it's not. So there's no way it's going to be amazing. I mean, it's like, I appreciate it. It finds an audience because there's like fans that are just fans of that thing, and it's like, you know what, I love BioShock, so I want that BioShock Infinite board game or whatever, but at the end of the day, I'm like, I just don't know if it's going to be that great. It's like, I'd just still rather play one of my favorites than try to figure out, you know, try to make myself like a thing that I'm like, I could just either play the video game or, you know. I don't connect with it, with that, who those games are targeted for. Uh, so no Monopoly Fortnite? I mean, I would try it. I mean, I'm kind of over playing, you know, rehashes of Monopoly. Like I think the last one I bought was the Zelda one, and I bought it literally just because it was Zelda, you know. But and I'm a big Zelda fan. So see, like that, it's like I love Zelda, so I'll buy it. But I'm like, I knew it wasn't going to be like this. It's like, oh, this is going to fix Monopoly for me. Yeah, it's like, no, it's not. Okay. Oh, they were made up football teams. You know what? I wouldn't have known. You're giving me fake football teams, and I just would have been like, sure, whatever. All I know is that all the snack food goes on sale for Super Bowl. That's all that I care about. Imagine a CMON or Monolith Kickstarter for Super Smash Brothers. It would break records. It would, and it would be cool. But however, I already have a large amiibo collection, so I'm not excited about the idea of Smash Brothers minis. And again, it's kind of like you're taking Smash Brothers and what I love about it and to turning it into something that it's not. So it's like, it would make more sense to just be like, I mean, what would it be? Like, is it better off to just go with like a Smash Brothers flavored zombie side, which I don't even know what that would look like. I guess if you had, I guess the Mii Fighters or something, or this, I don't know, you know. But as like if I heard someone was doing that, I don't know if I'd be super excited about it. It's like, because it's like, well, like when I play Smash Bros, I never think, you know what, I want to change out all this Twitch-based combat for dice. You know, it's like I never think that. So, however, I would be interested to see somebody take a crack at a Fire Emblem board game, because Fire Emblem's already a turn-based system, so I feel like the gap isn't as wide to make that leap. So I would be curious to see what a Fire Emblem board game would look like. So whoever gets on that, you're welcome for the idea. What bands have you worked with? No one really of note. I worked with a few contemporary Christian acts, but other than that, it's mainly just like local underground, you know, local Colorado bands that I worked with over the years. But yeah, I've worked with like my old job. I worked for a large church, so I've worked with like Desperation Band and Jared Anderson and Corey Asbury. But like that's kind of the extent of it. I mixed for John Tesh one time at an event. It's about that. And then in college, I got to go shoot some promo for, it was like a pitch for a Christmas movie that was going to star Wilford Brimley. So I got to go and record Wilford Brimley. But then like the thing never got funding, so it never saw the light of day. But like that's probably like the biggest name I've worked for is Wilford Brimley. Let's see. Any food you will miss? Oh, yes, hands down. All the Cuban food that I've discovered since living here. Like, I didn't know rice and beans could be so good. You know, I'll just say it. I'm going to miss the key lime pie. I'm going to miss the Sweet Delights pie. If you're at the Dice Tower Retreat, that is the pie I'm going to miss. That pie has ruined pie for all pie forever. Like, I'm going to miss that pie. Every time I'm out and someone's like, hey, they have key lime pie, I'll be like, it's not key lime pie. It's wrecked me for key lime pie. So yeah, I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss there's a local farmer's market here where they make these really amazing fresh fruit smoothies. I'm going to miss that place. But again, I know I can find other places like that place somewhere. Let's see. You have made Dice Tower production insanely better. Definitely going to be missed. Thank you. That is one of the things I'm most proud of. That I love that I can take a look at what I like. That I'm leaving the Dice Tower better than I found it. I love that we're not using the stupid Bluetooth mic anymore. You know, it's things like that. So like those are the things I am proud of, and I'm super glad. And there's a lot going on. I'm really excited about like the live slate content that's going on for 2019. I wish I could be here for it. I'm going to miss it. But yeah, I love where the channel is and where it's going. I wish I could be here for it. Let's see. Do you have your own YouTube channel? Technically, yes. Once upon a time, a long time ago, when I was like, hey, maybe I should take a crack at this whole internet video thing. I tried playing, I love video games. I'm like, hey, maybe I should see if I can try to make video games. You know, I hear people playing video games, people watch it, and it's like they make a career out of it. So once upon a time, I tried to upload some Let's Play videos, but I was really intimidated about like, can I monetize this? Can I? So like, I was scared. So like, somewhere out there, there is video of me and a friend of mine playing Grand Theft Auto online when it first came out on. So there's that somewhere. We played Orcs Must Die 2. I think that's pretty much it. Other than that, I've occasionally, for like the handful of people that care and want to hang out, I play Rock Band 4 on my Caffeine TV channel. But that's like a service that's in beta, and like the streams aren't archived, so you can't go see it. But I plan to do more of that. So like I said, I'm not going to plug it all here, but it's like, if you follow me, find me on the internets, you can follow what I'm doing. But to be clear, that's mainly just for fun and for my own, you know, geeky endeavor. I don't have any gross ambitions with it or anything. I'm just more like up to the challenge, like, how good can I make the stream, you know? It's more of a learning experience for me, I guess, yeah. Was there no option to work remotely for the Dice Tower? I did propose a remote option, because that was the first thing that I thought was, it's like, hey, if I can go back to Colorado, it's like, and in fact, and full disclosure, when I took this job, I was like, I didn't want to move to Florida, but I was like, I want to go down, and I'll give it a couple years. Hopefully, I can, you know, build up a good relationship with Tom, and then like maybe a couple years in, I can broach the question like, hey, we got a good thing going. I could go remote. However, it's just Tom is not on board with doing a remote workflow. That's just not how he doesn't want to operate that way, and that's fine. I mean, that's totally his prerogative. But I did ask, and it's just like, and also with what Tom's wanting, where the direction Tom wants to take the Dice Tower this next year, a remote editor is just not ideal, because it's like there's a lot of live stuff, and it's like I have solutions for it, but it makes it overly complicated for everybody else. So no, it isn't an option. But let's see. So how many shrines have you done, Derek? I haven't played Breath of the Wild in so long, and part of the reason for that is because it's just a weird sentimental thing for me. But like, I have two almost 5-year-old twin boys, and they're about the age that I was when I watched my dad play the original Legend of Zelda. And so when we started playing Breath of the Wild, they were doing the same thing where I had my little coloring book, and I grabbed a pencil to be my sword, and I was playing along with the game. And my kids are doing the same thing with Breath of the Wild. And so while it's great, that's one of my favorite things with the Switch, that I can play it anywhere. And it's like when I'm on the airplane, I could just go play. But it's like, you know what, if I'm going to play Zelda, I want it to be with my whole family there, with my kids getting to do it with me. That's just how I want to play it. So that's why I haven't finished it yet, because I just haven't had the opportunity to be just all of us together playing it, you know. So that's why. Where can I read why you're leaving the Dice Tower? Well, I posted a Facebook post in the Dice Tower Facebook group, and also just on public on my Facebook page. And like I said, the short answer is it's purely for family. It's just I need to get my family a bit closer to other family, and just there's a lot of things going on with just the season of life that my kids are in right now. It's like I want them to. I want their grandparents to be a big part of their lives, and you know, I just kind of had this one where I was like, you know what, nobody's getting any younger, and I would love for my boys to know their grandparents better. So it's like, you know what, it's time to go back. So that's really it's purely for family. There's no there's no like animosity or anything, or it's just like it's the right thing to do for my family, and I can't talk. There's no logical way I can talk myself out of staying here when it's like, yeah, but this. It's like, no, it's like family comes first. So, Let's see. Any thoughts on the Street Fighter card miniature game coming out that follows somewhat the Yomi card system? I've never played Yomi, so I'm not just gonna back the Street Fighter. I very rarely like blind back Kickstarters. It's just not what I do. I'm usually, I've had the privilege of being in a situation where somebody else gets it and I can play it and then decide, oh, well, okay, maybe I'll buy that when it comes out at retail. And then I'm like, oh, then I missed on all the exclusives. And then sometimes it leaves a sour taste in my mouth and I'm like, yeah, whatever. It's like, there's plenty of great games. I don't have to ride the hype train. But I will admit that I did buy a secondhand copy of Rising Sun because the production of the Kickstarter edition was just that good. Like when I saw the retail version, I was like, wow, I really feel like I'm missing out. Even though it's purely cosmetic and all in my head, it's like the game still works. It's just, I wanted the plastic tiles and the miniature strongholds and all that. So, all right. So do you follow the Avalanche? Nope. Again, I don't care about the sports ball, even though I know Avalanche doesn't play sports ball, but it's still sports. So I've never cared about sports. It was my least favorite thing to do in school when I was growing. I'm bad at it. It was never fun. I was like, I just don't care. Let's see. Pew Derek Pie, winky winky. Is that in reference to me talking about trying to do Let's Play videos? Let's see. What are you most looking forward to about heading back to Colorado Springs? Well, at this point in time, it is purely just to get back with my family. Like I haven't got to hug my kids since Christmas. I've been Skyping with them. But, you know, we moved back in December, and then I flew back to Florida on Christmas Day because the flight was so much cheaper. And I flew back on Christmas Day, and I've been here ever since, just helping with the transition, and then of course tying up loose ends with getting rid of my car, getting rid of my house, and clearing out the house, and figuring out how, you know, just the logistics of me trying to get, you know, ready to start working, doing freelance work, and after I finish my time with the Dice Tower, all that fun stuff. So mainly just going back to see my family, but also my wife told me last night that there's a bunch of people that are eager to see me again, which is really, like, they're like, hey, everyone's like, you got to do a game night. And I'm like, there's like all these different circles of friends that want to do game nights. And I'm kind of like, I'm pretty excited about it, actually. It's going to be a good time. So, who do you click most with in the Dice Tower, both in terms of board game preferences and personality? Probably Kenny. I think we've played more games together than anybody else. Before Kenny, though, I always said Sam, because I'm kind of a thematic buff, so I kind of, you know, it's like I get more excited for the games that Sam wants to play test usually. So, yeah, I'd say probably Sam. Though I did get exposed to a lot of Euro-style games. I'm very picky, but I found a few that I liked. So, like, I really like Voyages of Marco Polo, and a friend of mine in our local game group in Miami gave that to me as a going-away present. It was kind of nice. What amount of video content were you in charge of editing? Almost everything. How much of this has secretly been the Derek Show? No, there's very little the Derek Show, because one of the stipulations when I started working for the Dice Tower, it's fortunate that I get to do things like these live Q&As at all, because in the job description it was very clear that it's like it is not an on-camera position, so it's like you don't have any outward-facing role. And so, you know, I was under the impression that it's just like nobody would know who I am. But that broke when Sam said, hey, I'm going to do a live Q&A, I'm going to have you on with me. And so then I was like, okay, so then people learned who I was. Then I got to interact in the chat a little bit during live streams. And then of course I decided when I got the opportunity to do my own Q&A when the guys were gone, I'm like, I want to do my own thing. And so I just made it my own thing. And I created the whole thing with the inanimates, as I call them, the Manny and the Dude. And so, yeah, so that, like the Q&As is all the only thing that's like Derek Porter. Everything else is pretty much, you know, Tom's reviews are cut the way he wants them cut. Top 10s are cut the way Tom wants them cut. It's like, you know, I'm assembling content according to what we want. I get a little more control usually with like the live stream stuff because I'm technical directing, it's kind of hard to like, you know, nobody can give me notes while I'm sitting at the computer. But no, yeah, there's nothing other than these live Q&As. That's the only thing that's been like the Derek show. So, just so you know, I think your lunch unboxing is the best video that this channel has put out. Oh, do you not watch a lot of our other videos? No, thank you for saying so. Well, you missed the chicken. I am going to miss that chicken chop place for sure. I actually went there yesterday for one last hurrah. My last chicken chop. I went there for lunch yesterday after church. Who goofs around the most during filming? I feel like it would be Z. As far as, so here's the thing. I think I've said this before too. There's not a lot of room to goof around when we're recording because our deadlines are so tight. So if someone is goofing around, it usually is, you know, Sam and Z. Usually when those two get together, that's when some of the like, okay, you know, let's get a bunch of like silly, you know, jokes and things out of our system before we do the actual take. But there's not a lot of like, hey, you know, we're gonna let the camera run and just mess around. It's like we don't have time for that. So, and you basically any messing around that happens, you see in the blooper videos that I uploaded. So, have you been the wire and batteries guy as well as the editing guy? I was, and then I sort of handed the wire up and batteries off to Kenny when he came on. But other than that, yeah. So up until Kenny got here, yeah, I was doing all that stuff. So, so will we ever see you in the live stream again? I'll never say never, but nothing immediate. So, all right. Then last question here. It says, ever think of doing AV work for churches? Yes, that is what I did before I worked for the Dice Tower, and I will probably, you know, like I said, that is some of the freelance work that I have coming up in Colorado is doing AV work for churches. So, all right. Well, so this is about the end. This is the end. This is it. So, woohoo! Oh, and here's the boss man now.
That's me. I'm blue today.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So we just want to say, of course, how much we appreciate having Derek on. He said a lot of things that you guys don't know about. Mostly, he upped our video game knowledge here, which is.
Yeah, you can make.
Z has like a little.
Yeah, yeah. Now you know what some of those references mean in the chat now. So.
I just had to explain to them what Nerf meant because they didn't know because you used it, and I was like, well, I know what that means. So Roy has to cover that. But Derek did a lot of. He added all the stupid humor effects on like if I blew up on a review, yeah. Derek would add that sort of thing in. And really, I think the Dice Tower. Has changed considerably. When Derek came on, we were in one room, we had one camera.
That was a weird, that was just a weird experience coming from the outside in, by the way. Was this like, I'm in somebody's house.
Yeah, well, that's what we had. I mean, this is a much better, but I mean, Derek's been the one who says when we move, he's like, all right, well, this is what we need to get. These are the wires we need to get. So I just wanted to say we really appreciate him. Yeah, that's been bugging me too. Thanks, Kenny. I thought Roy might do it.
Oh no. Well, I didn't put anything on the TV, so I was trying to keep the TV out of the shot.
But, oh, yeah. What have you? But yeah, that's yeah. We're really sorry to see Derek go, but I heard something about Board Game Breakfast. You could, if he sends a segment, and we'll put it on the show.
All right. Well, yeah, I'll throw something your way on occasion.
Make him do it. Do like video games and board games. That's actually something no one's doing.
All right, well, maybe I'll throw something that way. So we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, I don't even have a space to record yet in Colorado, so I don't even know when I can start doing
outside,
stuff.
Man. The beautiful backdrops. It's like amazing.
It's January. It's 24 degrees outside in Colorado.
I was complaining this morning. It was 52 when I was out walking this morning, and I was like, I hate winter. Alrighty. Well, we do want to say a big thank you to Derek. He's done a lot for the show and really brought us from Stone Age to where we are now. And you will see him on the channel at some point in the future, I'm sure. But
yeah, like I said, if I can help it, I've fallen in love with the board game world, so I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna try to stay connected in some way. So.
Well, I'll let Derek close it out.
All right. So, thank you so much. I was gonna say thank you to I was gonna say Tom, Sam Z, and all the guys, Roy, Kenny. It's if I had to work in some very tight spaces with these guys, and so it's like I couldn't have picked. I couldn't have hoped for a better outcome of having to work in a tiny space with 4 other guys for a long time, and I can't believe where we are now. And I'm super glad I got to meet all the amazing contributors, Suzanne, Mandy, and Mike Parkinson, everybody from Board Game Breakfast and Board Game Blender and Token Punch Lunch, and you all are amazing. And I'm glad to have known you all. And I'm hoping, like I said, I'm going to try to get to a con when I can. I want to come see you all. So thank you. And well, I guess, wow, this is it. So this is like, after this, I'm gone. Unless you forget to change the outro and crowd surfing and it still says me in the credits. But, all right. So thank you all. I am so full of, like, I can't even talk. I'm just done. I'm done, and I'm gonna go now. So I don't have a fun outro or anything. So I think it will just have to stop. So thank you all very much. I love you all. You've been so very nice. And yes, in fact, someone said read the chat afterward. I'm actually going to copy and paste this into a document, and I'm probably going to keep it for a while. If anything, just so my wife, I want to show my family. Be like, hey, look all these nice things people on the internet said about me. So thank you all. So take care and have fun gaming.